Hi, it's Dr. Heidi Heron here from the Worldwide Institutes of NLP. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch an NLP coaching session and learn more about NLP from a coaching and therapy perspective. Over the next 25 minutes, you'll be observing how a coaching session works. You'll see NLP in action, and you can connect with rapport, the questions of NLP, identifying patterns, using some NLP techniques, metaphors, framing, reframing, and future pacing. After you've watched this session, if you have any questions about NLP or how you can benefit from NLP training or coaching, please contact me and I'll be more than happy to help. Enjoy the session, and I look forward to sharing more NLP with you soon.
So good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Hi, Heidi. Thanks for having me.
Absolute, my pleasure. So I know today we're working on creating more joy, but let me hear your words. So in today's session, what do you want to accomplish?
For me, it's around the permission that I am at the moment not giving myself to experience joy in my life.
Okay. And when you say joy and experiencing joy, what kind of joy is that joy?
I think for me, it's just around experiences. I think it's around, possibly flying interstate to see my family when I want to. It's, having really good belly laughs with girlfriends. It's that fun, vibrant kind of element of joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So by the end of today's session, do you want to have permission to experience joy? What would be your intention for today?
Yeah, that's definitely it. It's around really having no block, having a free flow of giving myself permission whenever I feel like I need to have some joy in my life.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So
Yeah.
I'm curious when we're successful today and you have that permission to have and experience more joy in your life and there's no blocks there, how will you know? What evidence will we be able to even test for today?
I think that there will be something around this. So there definitely is kind of a feeling of something here.
Okay.
And it's hard to describe, but there's something that sort of stops me. So when I go to think of either traveling interstate to see my mum or to organising a night out with girlfriends or even doing something during the day, God forbid, on a work day, there's something that comes in. And so I'm thinking that's going to be gone.
Okay. So we'll test for the absence of that.
Mm.
Okay. So in order for us to get the absence of that, for you to have the permission to experience joy, what do you think we need to access or build as far as resources or attitudes or attributes or behaviors? What do we need to access?
It's hard for me to access.
And it could be, resources that we need to either build or that you've already got that we need to tap into.
Yeah, I think I do have the resources that I have in me are definitely the will and the deep desire and want to do this. And I know how to have fun. So that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, so I guess it's maybe something around what to do when that comes, when that kind of block feeling comes, or when I have that voice in my head that says, oh, no.
Okay. And if you don't have the block that comes, what will you need to not have the block at all, to not have the voice come? Some good thinking going on there.
Yeah, just the direct permission, because I do know that I absolutely won't take this for granted. I won't go and just have fun and no, work. I trust myself in that. So that's, I guess, another inner resource that I have.
You've got trust. Perfect.
Yeah, so it's just letting go of that completely.
Okay, very good. So we'll let go of that completely so that you just have that permission to experience more joy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that permission to experience real joy, where and when is this going to be useful in your life?
It's going to be useful everywhere. It's going to be useful everywhere. It's going to be useful to model to my kids. It's going to be useful in my relationship to, sort of bring that spice in, and the vitality, and it's going to be really important in my work life as well. I feel like I'm really kind of unbalanced there, and I'm really one-sided.
Okay, so it's going to come in handy in a lot of spaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to experience, like in your workplace, having more balance, in your family, having more joy? What will that feel like? What will you see? What will that be like in your life?
I just know that I will be more lighthearted, because I've experienced that joy. I've experienced the light and shade of a day or a week or a month, and I'll have that kind of motivation to do my work, I think, because I've actually experienced the joy. So I've had some sugar, so
Nice.
yeah. So when it comes to doing the things sometimes in our business that we don't really enjoy doing, or in our work or whatever, or, it'll be a bit more of a balance,
Yes.
and something to look forward to as well. I think that's really important. I know for me, it's just like having something to really look forward to.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
For what purpose do you want to have that? I think that covers some of it, but are there any more intentions or purposes between having this permission?
I just know what it's like to not have it, and I'm done. I'm so done.
Yeah.
This has been around for a really long time, and I'm done. It's so not helping me, and it's making me sad.
Oh, we don't want sad Karina.
No,
sad Karina's sad.
No.
And one more question, and then we'll get started with this. But I really want to just get this, aspect of really what we're working on today. When you do have that permission to experience more joy in your life, and you are having more fun, and you're bringing in more lightness, is this going to be okay for you, for your kids, for your husband, for your work?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
For sure.
Okay. So by the end of today's session, you will have permission to experience joy in your life. And you'll know that because there'll be the absence of that block, and you'll feel that sense of lightness and more of that desire to do fun things.
Yeah.
That sound good? And you'll also have that trust that everything else will still happen.
Yes. Yeah,
Good.
Definitely.
Perfect. All right. So to do this, to help you to create that permission, I have a couple things in mind that I think will really help. The first one is a process that's called parts integration. And the intention and purpose of parts integration is to integrate an internal conflict. And even while you were talking there, it sounds like there is this internal conflict, this desire to have permission to experience joy that you haven't had for so long, and just another part of you that doesn't really experience joy because it's in the middle of the day or whatever excuses come up.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds spot on.
Okay. What would it be like without the internal battle?
I think it drains a lot of my energy, and it takes up a lot of my mind, takes up a lot of my thoughts. So, I would be experiencing more vitality, and I wouldn't have to think about it, because it would just be a follow through of, a thought process of what I want to achieve, and then just go do that.
Okay.
And also just kind of empowerment as well. I feel like I'm not really driving my own bus. I'm not really kind of taking control of my life. So I feel like if I had that, I would definitely feel more in control and empowered.
Yeah.
Boss lady.
Boss lady. And if you're not driving your bus, who's the boss lady of you currently?
The first thing that came to my mind was my husband.
Okay. And what do you
And
believe
it's
about
not
that?
actually, sorry?
What do you believe about that?
It's interesting because he's not a mean person, or, you know, he never has ever said that I can't go and do anything, or, and in fact, he encourages me to. So I know that it's me putting myself in the passenger seat of our family life.
You bet. Because most likely, if you were to ask him, hey, are you the boss of me? What would he say?
No. And
Right.
and that I don't want to be the boss of you.
Right.
It's so much more attractive, and it's so much more fulfilling, and it's so wonderful to see you in charge of your life and in the driver's seat.
Yeah. That's most likely what he would say.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do this process. It's a closed-eyed process, and I'm just going to have you visualize some stuff and answer some questions. Now, the questions, when I ask them, they'll have probably fairly short answers. Anything longer really is coming from your conscious mind, and NLP is about tapping into your unconscious awareness, because the thoughts you have, the feelings you have, and the choices you make, that creates the interaction from your mind to your brain. And so I'm interested in that cycle that takes from mind to brain. So I'm just going to ask you some questions when we get in here, and you'll just answer some fairly short things. They might be questions that you haven't thought of in terms of this before, and that's okay. Just the first thing that comes to your mind is absolutely perfect. Okay. So where you're at, I'd like you to sit with your hands up on your lap. And we won't see your hands, but we'll know your hands are there. And the simple reason I'm going to have you put your hands up, it's not from a meditative standpoint. It's actually part of this process, because those parts, the part that wants to have the permission and the part that just doesn't have it, we actually want to personify and take out of yourself and make into something. So we're going to imagine some shapes or symbols or colors that represent each one of those parts. So go ahead and close your eyes and put your hands up for me. And I want you, let's go with the part that wants to experience joy, that wants permission. And allow that to come onto one of your hands. Which hand does it come onto?
On my left. On
your left hand. And I want you to use your imagination and just imagine, what would that look like if you could see it?
It's like a ball of cotton wool.
Okay.
Like a fluffy, cloudy shaped cotton wool, soft, light.
Light, okay. And I have some questions for this part that wants that permission. The first question is, what is its purpose? Not too much thinking. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's its purpose?
To have fun.
Yeah. Because when you can have fun, what does fun allow you?
Vibrancy and joy.
Wow. And when you have vibrancy and joy, what does that give you?
It relieves pressure.
Huh. And when you have that relief of pressure, what does that allow you?
Just expansiveness.
Okay. And when you have expansiveness, what does that give you?
Lightheartedness.
And what's the purpose of having lightheartedness?
To be really present. Yeah.
And when you can be really present, what will that allow you?
More fulfilling experiences.
Wow. And when you have more fulfilling experiences, what will that give you?
Just a really deep sense of everything's okay.
Wow. Okay. Everything's okay. And I'm curious, is there a higher intention for having that deep sense that everything's okay?
Because when everything's okay, I can actually live to my full potential.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a nice intention.
If I'm feeling safe and okay,
yeah,
I can live fully.
Wow. Okay. So the overall highest intention of this part that wants permission to experience joy is so you can live to your full potential. Know you're safe, you're okay. Nice. Let's take a look at the other side. I'm curious about it. The one that goes, nope, it's the middle of the day, you cannot go play. Must follow these rules. Whose rules, I don't know, but must follow these rules.
Yes.
So let that one come out onto your right hand. And let your imagination play. What does it look like?
It's like a black square of plasticine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any weight to this one?
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's heavy. Okay. So give it a voice too, the ability to communicate with us. And similar kinds of questions. The first question that I have for this part is, what is its purpose?
To keep me safe.
Because when you can be safe, when you're safe, what does that allow you?
To get done what needs to get done.
You bet. And when you can get done what needs to be done, what does that allow you?
Progress.
When you have progress, what does that give you?
A feeling of accomplishment.
And when you have a feeling of accomplishment, what does that allow you?
Lightheartedness.
Nice. I like lightheartedness. When you have lightheartedness, what does that give you?
Just that feeling of expansiveness and playfulness.
Nice. And what would be the purpose of having that expansiveness and playfulness?
Just to be fully involved in life.
You bet. And when you are fully involved in life, what will that give you?
I'm living my full my full potential.
Wow. Living your full potential. I actually want you to recognize that both of these parts, they want that same thing for you. They want you to live your full potential. And I wonder if you can actually recognize that they used to belong together. They used to be one whole thing. At some point, they split apart. Can you recognize that? Yeah. And knowing that they have the same intention for you, they want the same thing for you, and they used to belong together, we're going to bring them back together. So I want you to imagine and invite any other parts that used to be a part of this larger whole to come and join in for this integration. And I want you to notice also that both parts have positives. They both have highly useful and resourceful aspects to them, don't they? And maybe you can name them, maybe you can't. But right at the moment, just notice that. And then allow these parts to start to come together. You may feel your hands wanting to come together, or it might just be the images in your mind that start to merge. What do you notice happening?
I notice that they do want to come together. They actually do. Yeah, they do want to be together, and it's not been good being apart.
Yeah, I bet. So let them come together. As they come together, what's the new symbol that comes to mind?
The new symbol is interestingly just it's like hands like that. I've seen sort of symbols like that. It's literally just where the one hand is in another hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
And with those two hands together, bring that inside. Whatever that means to you, bring that inside, that wholeness. And let it settle inside. Welcome it home. And then have a think about doing something for you, even in the middle of the day. And what do you notice about that now? Something joyful.
Yeah, I've just got this image of a dove. Like when I put that inside, it turned into a dove.
Wow.
So just that real sense of freedom.
Yeah.
I can't really access what I would be doing, but I just can access the feeling that I would get from doing that.
Wow. Wonderful. Good. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes and come back in the room. We'll do one more thing to really make sure you've got some permission there. But even as you reorient yourself back into the room, where there used to be that internal battle with these parts, what do you notice now? What's different?
There's just a real kind of compassion. I just feel like a lot of kind of warmth and compassion and kindness towards myself.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah.
And you said before there was this block here.
Yeah. No. There doesn't seem to be that. I can just see the wings of the doves just kind of circling around, and yeah, so it's that real just sense of calm, and this is how it's meant to be kind of feeling. You've been fighting for so long, and this is how it's actually meant to be.
Wow.
There doesn't need to be the fight.
Very nice. So I'd like you to even say
really nice
out loud to yourself, I give myself permission to experience joy.
I give myself permission to experience joy.
It's a nice smile that comes with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And I'm curious, how long ago did you give up that permission?
You know, that's really hard for me to access, but it's been years, Heidi. Like it's been years. I haven't given myself permission to go and do really joyful things, unless it's being tagged with study, or there's been a real purpose that isn't just because I want to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's do one more quick thing. That can help to give you even more of that sense of permission. So go ahead and close your eyes for me one more time. And I want you to remember a time in your history where you did have permission to just do stuff. Because it was fun, because you wanted to, because there was no strings attached. And I want you to notice and recognize some of the resources that she has, that younger you. Her life might have been different, but notice that she has the permission, but also notice what resources she has. What does she have?
Yeah, she has that ability to recognize what is fun for her and what she really loves. She's got an ability to organize herself, so to organize to do that stuff. She's got a real carefree way about her. She's funny. She's just really sort of carefree and playful.
Nice. And then I want you to imagine you can actually float up above your timeline. Just like history has a timeline, you've got one too, that marks out your past, your present, and your future. And we happen to be on your past with your past self. And I want you to imagine, just imagine your life. And you can see there's this point back here where you laughed and you were fun and funny and joyful and lighthearted and carefree. And then there's another stretch of time where you took away, or someone took away, or somehow the permission was taken away. And I'm curious, as you look at your timeline, is there a difference between those, like in color or shape or vibrancy?
Yeah, that when it was taken away, it's flat, and there's a real definite line, whereas previous it was kind of just a bit more fluffy and not as defined.
Okay, go to where that definite line is along your timeline. Whenever and wherever you are, it doesn't matter. Whatever you see or don't see there is perfect. But tell me what emotions you noticed then.
Just restriction, really restricted. I can feel it in my throat. Heaviness, like I'm being dictated to, like it's actually what's happening in here is not my, I'm being dictated to, so it's not my choice what's happening here.
Gotcha.
I've got a real internal sense of like, I'm being constricted and I want to fight. I'm fighting to get out, that kind of thing.
Okay. And I'm curious, what do you know now in 2018? What do you know now that would have been useful for you at this point?
That no one can actually make me feel anything.
What else?
That I can actually move, like that I'm not being held, I'm not being restricted physically. So I've actually got an ability to move. And as I move, there's a positive response.
Nice. How about your younger self, the one that had more fun and she could just do those things? What would she tell this version of you?
She can't believe it. She can't believe what she's doing. She's just kind of like, freaking hell, girlfriend, just sort this out. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, she's kind of like, just can't believe it. And it's like, who have you become? What the hell? I don't even recognise you, that kind of thing. But quite lighthearted and quite playful and like, oh, don't be silly, just move out of the way, or just go, just leave, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So in that movie of where this line was drawn, I want you to start to shift the awareness. Notice that you can move. Notice the what? Where are you? Who are you? What are you doing from your younger self? And notice also, you told me before that you trust yourself. You trust yourself that stuff is going to get done even if you have fun.
Yeah.
And so make sure that you let that version of you know that you trust yourself. And let your younger self give you some of that organizational skills that she's got to make things happen. And to know what it is that makes her enjoy. And then let your unconscious mind storing learnings from this. And to start letting go of somebody else driving your bus. Get back in the driver's seat. Bring in that sense of empowerment you told me about before. Those attractive qualities that you desire. How does that shift this?
Yeah, it shifts it a lot. I can see that she's walking beside me, and there's kind of like grass and flowers and things on the side, and we've hopped in the car, and I've actually hopped in the driver's seat, and I said to her, she needs to get in the passenger seat. I'm driving, sister. And it's a really cute little fancy red car.
Ah, cute.
God. Yeah, we're kind of just going on a Sunday drive, and there's a beach there, and there's just, I've got no worries in the world. We've got no time constraints. Just us two.
And does she have permission to experience joy?
Yes.
Do you have permission to experience joy?
Yes, now.
Yeah. And then trust that your unconscious mind can store any additional learnings and then float back above your timeline. And I'm curious, is there a difference now between the past when you had that and what's come up to now?
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a blip in time. Like it's just kind of it's still there, but it's just a neutral.
Yeah.
Neutral. It's just black and white, and it's neutral.
It happened.
It happened. That old thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then as you think about your life now and possibly, jumping on a plane and visiting your mom or going out with girlfriends or doing something in the middle of the workday, notice the feelings that you have.
Yeah, just really expansive and looking forward to it.
Nice.
Thinking to myself, why the hell haven't I done this before?
Yeah. And the simple answer was because.
Yeah.
But do you have permission to do it now?
Yeah.
That's right. So when you're ready, again, store any additional learnings and understandings, come back into the room and open your eyes. Nice. Good job.
That was cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
This NLP stuff's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And seriously, the answer to why didn't I do this before is because. And the longer answer is because you had a belief or programming that said you couldn't. And until we change the unconscious programming, we can consciously go, no, I'm giving myself permission to do this today, but as soon as I get all these things done, because I can't do it in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And so when we change the unconscious programming, bringing in, you can drive your own bus and you can have the empowerment and you have that permission. The next thing from what you've told me today is figuring out what does make you joyful. So that would be your next piece of homework, is to start to really investigate what makes you joyful.
Yeah. What really makes me joyful. Yeah. What makes me joyful.
Yes, what makes you joyful. Correct.
Yeah.
So as you're thinking about having permission to have and experience joy, what are you noticing about that now?
I'm thinking like, what can I do? Like I'm like, right, okay, we're done now. Good. Right. What do I have to? I have to organise something.
That's awesome. So, what do you believe about that now? About being able to do those things you enjoy?
It's exciting, and that's what's been missing in my life. That's the fabric of life, is the intertwining, fun and anticipation and excitement. And I can actually see more of that happening than anything. Like if I look at a fabric, what do you call it? One of those
like a tapestry,
handmade tapestry thingy, doona thingy. Yeah, I can see all of those joyful sort of times are really popping up and accessible. They're all there.
Wow.
I'm now, just wanting to access it.
That's so cool. So what will that mean in your life?
It'll just mean that that I've got things in the calendar to look forward to, that there's actually things in line that I have organised and orchestrated to do for myself and with the family, and yeah, that I actually do that I actually do that instead of not. So I'm taking action.
Good. What's important about that?
That it actually happens rather than not happening. So there's no loop anymore. It's just, I just can sort of see a straight line rather than a circle,
Nice.
which, yeah, it's just like, just do that. And
that's really cool.
Yeah.
So we started the session saying we wanted to help you to access the permission, have permission to experience joy. And you would know that because there was the absence of that block and a sense of lightheartedness. What are you noticing about that now?
Yeah, I do. I just noticed that there is no block. I can't feel any of that feeling anymore. What I can actually see and visualize is this tapestry of, it's like a landscape of my life, and all of these joyful things are popping up in it. Yeah. And so I'm like, I feel like I want to go and be in that and immerse myself in what is my future life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Really cool.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Awesome.
Enjoy that. Next time we chat, I'm sure I'll check in and see how that's going. And if there's anything else that we need to clear up and iron out, we will do so.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Heidi. I really appreciate it.
You are very,
awesome.
very welcome. And I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Thanks.
See ya.
Nice. Okay. So for reals, nice job.
Yeah, wow, that was